The purpose of these lessons is to show you the logic behind the most basic Chinese characters, beginning with the simplest pictograms, and later combining these elements to create more complex characters. This lesson is a continuation of Lesson 87, and the second of 3 installments introducing common characters based on a container with its cover or lid, pronounced second tone, he, he. This second installment contains only 2 characters related to giving and taking, which are extremely basic concepts in any language. The first one places he above the 4-stroke hand radical, 手. The combination pronounced second tone, na, na. As you can see, the phonetic element changed from如, the obedient female, to奴, the female slave, and was finally replaced by he, meaning to come together as a lid on its container, most likely suggestive of a grasping hand. Those original female components were probably meant to express the idea of going to get something, to fetch it, since na means to take in the hand, to hold or grasp something. 你手里拿的是什么? What are you holding in your hand? 他手里拿着一把花生米. He's holding a handful of peanuts. 他忍无可忍，拿起一把刀子. She couldn't take it any longer and picked up a knife. Since 忍无可忍 is a new idiom in these lessons, here's another sentence with this expression. 我是个能忍的人，可是你使我忍无可忍. I'm a patient person, but you have pushed me too far. The character 来 means to approach the speaker. So, 拿来, 拿过来, and 拿回 are various ways to say bring. 请把我的大衣跟围巾拿来. Bring me my overcoat and scarf, please. 那个盒子拿过来，可以当作椅子用. Bring that box over here. It'll do as a seat. 把椅子上的木桶拿来使用就可以. Just get that wooden bucket off the chair to use. 不要再等了，你会来不及拿回你的定金. Don't wait any longer. You'll miss any chance of getting your deposit back. The character 去 means to go away from the speaker. So, 拿去, 拿出去, and 拿走 are different ways of taking something away. 没问题，你当然可以把钥匙拿去. No problem. Of course, you can take the key. 那些破毛巾你通通拿去吧. Those old towels over there, take the whole lot. 她把金子全都拿去当了. She took all her gold items and pawned them. 你的棉被需要拿出去晾一晾. You need to take your quilt outside in the sunshine to freshen it. 什么人拿走了我的毛巾? Who pinched my towel? 我的信用卡被妈妈拿走了. Mom took my credit card. 他被打得不省人事. 皮夹被拿走. He was knocked unconscious and his wallet stolen. Remember the expression for unconscious, 不省人事. literally unaware of human affairs. All of the previous sentences were examples of physically grasping something with the hands. The next 5, however, are figurative uses of 拿来 followed by a verb. 拿来 here means to take someone or something with a specific purpose in mind. That purpose being the verb which follows. 他曾说过的话，我要拿来堵他的嘴。I'll take his own words and use them to silence him. Literally, use them to stuff his mouth. 你用不着拿儿子来出气。There is no need to take your anger out on your son. 请不要拿这件事来作为话题。Please do not take this incident as a topic of conversation. 请你不要再拿他的口音来耍他。Please stop making fun of her accent. 别说了，拿他们两个的成就来比一比。Enough talk. Just compare their accomplishments. 来 is not always necessary to express a purpose, but it's implied, as in these 3 examples. 你要是拿我打去，我们就不用合作了。If you're going to mock me, we cannot work together. 我从来不拿他当回事，你最好不理他。I've never paid any attention to him. You're better off ignoring him. 不要拿这些问题去烦你爸爸了。Don't go pestering your father with all these questions. 拿到 translates as to get or receive. 你什么时候会拿到驾照？ When will you receive your driving license? 不知道何时可以把那些赠品拿到手。I don't know when I'll be able to actually get those free gifts. 今天我拿到了迫切等待的回信。Today I received that reply I'd been eagerly waiting for. The English word handy once literally meant an object that fit one's hand snugly. Not too big and not too small. Just right. In Mandarin, 拿手 is a similar concept, meaning that a person is unusually good at something. He or she has a special talent, the ability to literally take something in hand. 我知道你画肖像很拿手。I know you're very good at painting portraits. 我好久没尝到你妈妈最拿手的凉面。I haven't tasted your mom's terrific cold noodles in such a long time. Notice that 尝, meaning to taste, can be written with or without the mouth radical. 我来，你煮的面没有我煮的拿手。Let me do it. You're not as good as I am when it comes to making noodles. 拿定主意 means to make up one's mind. And the inability to do so is 拿不定主意。您当真拿定了主意吗？ Have you really truly made up your mind? 他坐在那里拿不定主意。He sat there dithering over his decision. 他拿不定主意是否要跟你讲。She couldn't decide whether to tell you. 我拿不定主意是否要出国念书。I can't make up my mind about going abroad to study. 他一直拿不定主意要买哪一件毛衣。She can't decide which sweater to buy. And a final use of 拿 is simply as a sound syllable to transliterate foreign names for places and people. For example, we can now write the country name Canada, 加拿大. In some dialects of Chinese, such as Cantonese, jia is pronounced ga. So that's why those three characters were chosen for the sound, ga na da. Today's second and final character needs a bit of explanation. As you can see, this character is composed of the silk radical plus he. It's pronounced two ways, gei or ji, with related meanings. Notice that in English, too, the letter G is either hard, g, or soft, j, depending on what letters surround it. Anyway, the silk radical on the left indicates continuation from the long, unbroken strands of silk drawn from a cocoon, as we saw in previous characters such as shao and mian in lessons 84 and 85 respectively. The pot and lid component, he, refers to the idea of coming together, or two sides matching up. Together, ji conveys the meaning of providing continuously, matching my supplies to your needs. So our first phrase is ji shui, to supply water. 他们负责工厂的集水. They're responsible for supplying water to the factory. Another phrase is 给予, a rather literary expression meaning to give. Many Chinese pronounce it 给予 instead, despite the formal 给予 being taught in school. I will alternate between the two. 请大家给予指正. Kindly oblige me with your valuable comments. This is a polite phrase asking for suggestions for improvement on a speech one has just given, a song just performed, an idea just introduced, or a complimentary copy of my book just offered to you. 他给予的支持使我信心大增. The support she gave me increased my confidence immensely. 他不曾违国法，理当给予宽待. He has never broken the law before and ought to be accorded leniency. 有的人认为给予就是德行. Some people feel that giving is a virtue. The easiest translation of this character as a verb is simply English to give, pronounced 给. 你可以再给我们几个例子吗? Could you give us a few more examples? 一气之下，女友给他一个巴掌. In a fit of pique, his girlfriend gave him a slap. 无论如何，请给他一些宽待. In any case, please treat him leniently. In other words, give him leniency. 中国人最不能忍的事情就是不给面子. Chinese people can least tolerate not being given face. In other words, you must give them a chance to save face. Of course, it's also possible to use the ba pattern, which brings the object before the verb. 我把这份工作给别人了. I gave the job to someone else. Next, we have examples of verbs that are commonly paired with 给 to indicate the receiver of an action. 昨天叫你寄给爸爸的信，寄了没有? Did you send the letter to Dad like I told you to yesterday? 他拿出来一看，信是寄给他的. He took it out and looked. The letter was addressed to him. 他讲个不停，就想再卖给我别的东西. He talked non-stop, trying to sell me something else. 她把女儿嫁给一名大使。She married her daughter off to an ambassador. 她嫁给一心一意地追她的男子。She married the man who tried single-mindedly to win her affections. 不知道她看中小林什么，可是她嫁给他了。I don't know what she sees in 小林 but she married him. 这件事情请留给我吧。Leave this to me. 你把留给我的早点都吃光了。You ate the breakfast that was left for me. 爸爸没有留一丁点土地给大哥。Dad didn't leave an inch of land to my eldest brother. This is obviously referring to an inheritance. Here are 5 more examples of 给 indicating the indirect object or receiver of an action. 你的合约可不可以给我过目一下？ Would you let me have a look at your contract? 他常常大清早给我打电话。He often gives me a phone call early in the morning. 请你给这些货品最后的加工。Please put the finishing touches on these products. 我正要给东京通个电话。I'm just about to place a call to Tokyo. 请给我们一点时间想一想。Please give us a little time to think it over. Before going further, I want to give you 2 Chinese sentences with their English translation. One, perfectly clear, and the second one, ambiguous, depending on intonation and word order. 这些牛肉是妈妈买给我的。Mom bought this beef for me. Notice the word order. The verb 买 precedes 给我, literally buy and give to me. If the word me is slightly emphasized in English, we know the meat is going to be eaten by me. The second sentence is 这些牛肉是妈妈给我买的。Mom bought this beef for me. Notice that 给 precedes 我 followed by the verb 买. If for is stressed like this in English, we assume Mom bought the meat instead of me, perhaps because I was too busy to go shopping. And we're unsure who is actually going to eat it, me or someone else. This sentence is ambiguous. Unstressed for in English and 给 in front of 我买 in Mandarin. Keep this distinction in mind when reading the following sentences in which 给 means for the benefit of or to the detriment of the recipient. 你们想给婴儿取什么名字？ What do you want to name the baby? 大家想给他开生日聚会。We all want to throw a birthday party for her. 我明天去给你买一件好的雨衣。I'll go buy a good raincoat for you tomorrow. 你一定能给我们出个主意。You surely can come up with an idea for us. 他给我们全家惹了不少麻烦。He caused our whole family quite a bit of trouble. 你能不能给我们破例一下？ Can't you just make an exception for us? 别给我来这一招，我太了解你。Don't try to pull that trick on me. I know you too well. 架子上有一支左轮枪给你用。There's a revolver on the shelf for you to use. The Chinese name for a revolver is based on the fact that the cylinder holding the bullet chambers flips out 90 degrees to the left so that bullets can be inserted. Thank you, Google. Next, we have the very emphatic use of 给我 for orders, usually unpleasant ones. This usage obviously comes from the idea that what is being demanded is for my benefit, for my sake, if nothing else. 你给我出去 Get out. Literally, get out for me. 马上给我拿回来，听到了没？ Bring that back here right now, you hear me? 你给我好好等着。You wait right here. Got it? This could be an order to a child to stay put while the parent talks to his or her teacher about some infraction. Or it could be a petulant young lady telling her antsy boyfriend not to rush her because her makeup isn't finished yet. Another use of 给 is a conversational way to express passive voice, replacing 被 from lesson 85. 我的丝头巾给人家弄破了。Somebody tore my silk scarf. 电动门不知怎么给卡死了。The electric gate became jammed for some reason. 你的头巾给雨弄湿了。Your headscarf is wet from the rain. And here are 3 examples with 把, where 给 is used in a very colloquial style, adding no meaning, and which can be dropped completely without changing the original sentence. 妈妈把女儿的手机给拿走。The mother took away her daughter's cell phone. 你叫她把椅子给挪开。Tell him to move the chair. 她差点儿把皮夹给丢了。She nearly lost her wallet. Here's our color chart with today's 2 characters. 拿 and 给, or more rarely, 给. Here's a summary of today's lesson. 1. This lesson introduces only 2 characters, containing the 合 container plus lid component. 拿 was first composed of 如, the obedient female, which was then replaced by 奴, the female slave, and finally swapped with 合, meaning to come together as a lid on its container, most likely suggestive of a grasping hand. 如 and奴are both depictions of submissive or enslaved females, taking orders and fetching things for others, so the original meaning is quite clear. 2. 拿 can be used for a person getting, taking, or bringing physical objects, such as in the phrases 拿来 and 拿去. It can also be used metaphorically, with or without 来, to mean taking a person or thing with a specific purpose in mind. As in the expression 拿人出气 or 拿人来出气, to take one's anger out on a person. 3. Today's second character is commonly pronounced 给 and more rarely 给, both meaning to give or to provide in some fashion. It's composed of the silk radical, indicating unbroken continuous action, while the container with lid component 合 refers to the idea of two sides coming together and the continuous meeting of someone's needs. 4. When pronounced 给, this character has many uses in conversation, especially when indicating the receiver of an action, whether physical, as in 给人一个巴掌, to give someone a slap, or intangible, such as 给人面子, to allow someone to save face. 5. As with the English preposition for, Chinese 给 can lead to ambiguity when placed between the subject and its indirect object, as in 他给我买的. He bought it for me, to save me the trouble, which is often construed the same as 他买给我的. He bought it for me, for my use alone. 6. This same meaning of for my sake, for my benefit, is how 给 came to be used in strong commands, such as 你给我过来, get over here, when ordering an unwilling child to approach for a severe scolding. 7. 给 can also replace 被 in passive sentences in a colloquial style. For example, 蛇给人打死了. The snake was beaten to death. Now you will find a short quiz on double, triple character, and longer expressions. Answer using only the characters learned so far. Thank you for watching and listening.